Well, 1 week ago, 38 people were gunned down at a beach in Tunisia. Many of them were British tourists, and Britain observed a national minute of silence as part of an official day of mourning. Richard Bestic has our story from London.
From the heart of a grieving British nation, Big Ben tolls for a moment of quiet. Flags above government buildings slowly lowered to half-mast. Thousands around Buckingham Palace stood quietly, their thoughts with the innocent holidaymakers who lost their lives in a savage mass murder. The Union Jack over Buckingham Palace was also lowered, while hundreds of miles away in Scotland, the Queen joined millions of others around the country in silent tribute. British Prime Minister David Cameron, at home in his constituency, was one among millions.
The time is midday.
Silence was observed at the famous Wimbledon tennis tournament, where play was delayed by 45 minutes in memory. Some of the 30 British victims of the Tunisian beach killings were supporters of Walsall Football Club, where players, club officials and hundreds of fans gathered outside the club stadium for their own tribute. But this wasn't just a British tribute. On the beach, where most of the victims of the massacre were killed, Tunisian government representatives took part in their own solemn remembrance. At midday, London time, they too fell silent. This outpouring of national grief has followed days of the dead being returned to Britain aboard RAF flights. In Parliament, Britain's Defence Minister talked of a war against Islamic State that would last a generation.
There must be a full spectrum response to deal with ISIL at its source in places such as Syria, Iraq and Libya.
Currently, Britain targets Islamic State in Iraq only, supporting Iraqi troops on the ground there. Going after IS in Syria also now looks likely. So it has been a sad day of reflection for both the United Kingdom and Tunisia, as thoughts here in Britain turn to what action will be taken in the coming weeks and months. Richard Bestic, CCTV, London.